42 here on the Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Well, I'm not sure what it is. I guess I'll be okay.
I'm calling the studio, Matthew. You're not shooting today.
No. People are depending on me. Movies bring so much joy.
Stop. It's done. Just get some rest. Diva.
He bought it. How can I handle work?
Oh, yeah. Bueller. This here, what you're listening to is the Super Bowl commercial before the Super Bowl's even started for, what is it, the Honda. Anyway, tgf.co.nz is here. It's Vaughn Davis, of course. Vaughn, welcome.
Thank you.
And social media and aeroplanes. Starting off with advertising. Yes, okay, so this is a remake of the Ferris Bueller thing with...
Yeah, Bueller. Sell out. Sell out.
A lot of controversy online about this ad.
Yeah, but even from the bloke himself, I don't even know the name of the actor. What's the guy's name? You know. You're plugged into the popular zeitgeist.
The dude. Matthew Broderick.
You looked at the screen.
Yeah.
But he even said, the whole time he was filming it, he was going, should I really be doing this? This is a bad idea. He might be right. Apparently it's peppered with film references, and I've only seen the movie.
Well,
twice.
yeah, okay, yeah, and see, I it was ages ago since I'd seen the movie as well. It is a classic and all that, but a lot of people are saying, well, even the references they don't get right.
Yeah, I mean, and the classic line from the movie for me is sometimes you just got to see what the fuck.
Yeah,
and it doesn't, for obvious reasons, it doesn't make it into the ad. But the more interesting thing
is... 2
minutes
25 of the ad.
Oh, I know. Really interesting thing is that this year, the big agencies in the States have embraced social media. And the way they've done that is by releasing seemingly half of their Super Bowl ads a week ahead of the show, which is, this Sunday... US time, this Saturday, New Zealand time.
I'm really puzzled about this.
Yeah, the idea. I mean, and we've sort of seen echoes of this in New Zealand, where I think TV3 pre-released one of their new season shows online before it went to air. The idea being to generate buzz. You got to have that buzz.
But the buzz is around Super Bowl, and a lot of people don't actually watch the game; they just watch the commercials.
They want to watch the ads, and they want that shared experience. I think, to use a very old-fashioned phrase, they're missing a trick. And I think if there's a trend with social media and broadcast at the moment, it's the whole idea of the second screen.
Yeah.
And by that we mean using social media in parallel to the broadcast experience to amplify that live experience and make people feel like they're part of something bigger.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you show content online, a week out, you can watch it when you like and where you like, and you're not sort of experiencing that live. You're not going, oh wow, cool, look at that, at the same time as everyone else. So you're losing that shared experience.
I think it may work to hype up a brand new show that no one's ever perhaps seen before, but
that's going to have an ongoing,
thing further down.
Experience. But this is just a one-off. If you've seen the ad, you've seen the ad. I mean, some of the ads are pretty cool. The Volkswagen has teamed up again. They've obviously got some Lucasfilms back end thing, because I remember they did the little boy dressed as Vader last year. They've done a bit of a teaser this year with dogs. You can't go wrong with dogs. The audio's nice.
And here's some dog audio. What are they doing?
Well, they're actually. You probably picked a bad part of the audio. They're singing the ba 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 ba. As a teaser to, and then the AT thing sort of walks through. It's a bit of a teaser to their Super Bowl ad, which sort of peripherally involves Star Wars. Credit to them, they then tied it in with a Super Bowl, pretty clunky, low-tech, could have been done 10 years ago, Super Bowl invitation app where you can put in your details, and they make that classic Star Wars opening credit crawler thing customized as a party invitation. So Vaughn's party comes up, and then there is turmoil in the galaxy. Wammo has not received an invitation. Mrs. Wammo is getting antsy, and so on.
And you've sent this to me. Is this a real party invite? Is there actually a real party?
There is no real party. Sadly, I'll be in another country for our national day, but that's life.
Okay.
And we don't need to have a party because we've seen all the Super Bowl ads already.
Yeah, and another one starring OK Go.
OK Go. Yeah, they did a really again with singing dogs last year. This year they've teamed up with Chevy for, I don't know what it is, a repackaged Holden Barina, the Chevy Sonic, whatever that is, in yet another sort of reinterpretation of their sort of what was their song with the device, the incredibly big machine, the Heath Robinson machine? This too will pass.
Right.
Remember, they've done the same thing with a car, setting off lots of different musical things and.
So the band OK Go likes to get attention by creating crazy music videos, and now they're doing ads by self-referencing the fact that they like doing
crazy music videos. Yeah, I mean the Chevy's ad agency hasn't sort of pushed the boat terribly far out, but then a lot of the Super Bowl stuff hasn't, because the risks are high. They're paying this year a new record of $3.5 million for a 30-second spot.
Wowzers.
And the interesting thing is, I was doing a bit of digging there, that's actually good value in the United States TV market, because that cranks out, if you get 110, 111 people watch the show, or watch the game, that works out to $27 US per 1,000 people who see the ad.
Not bad.
Okay. A normal prime time US spot in a comedy or whatever, NCIS, don't know what a big show is over there, is $35.
Yeah, right.
So you're actually getting better bang for buck. At a mathematical level, you could also argue that the stakes are really high, because your ad's not in amongst Dave's Discount Disasters. Your ad is in amongst a whole lot of other really, really good ads.
Yeah.
And you need to be really, really great to stand out. By contrast, New Zealand, you're spending about $17 US to get to those 1,000 people.
Okay.
So that's still pretty expensive.
But as we've just said, you can check them all out on YouTube already anyway.
Yeah, there's aggregation sites. If you just search Super Bowl 2012, you'll find sites that have got 20, 30, 40 ads that haven't run yet.
Now, a video that's being well shared this week on social media.
Flying people. Yeah, I've got to say, my first thought was this, with bodies flying through the air in New York City. I hate myself for thinking this, but it felt a bit 9/11.
A little bit.
Because the last time we saw that, they were coming down. This time they're going up, and it's for a movie which launched worldwide yesterday, called Chronicle. By all accounts, not a particularly good movie, but yeah, it's a beautiful promo. So the movie involves teens with superpowers. God preserve us from teens with superpowers yet again, which clearly include flying through the air. And the agency has created these model aeroplanes, and it's a truth of aerodynamics. If it's light enough and slippery enough and has a big enough engine, it'll fly.
Yeah.
So what they've done is made these life-size sort of carbon fibre people. They're just sort of two-dimensional people in relief. Put little, I think they're electric motors on the back, and launched them into the skies above New York, above the water in New York, I think, for safety reasons. But the footage is really quite beautiful. I suspect the footage is more beautiful than it was in real life, and this is intended more as a video experience than a real life stunt, because it was all done at dawn when there was really no one around. But absolutely gorgeous and getting a lot of eyeballs. How many views so far?
3.3 million.
Yeah, 3.3 million, not bad.
Yeah, interesting to note the Brooklyn Bridge has the American flag at half-mast on this particular day that they did it.
Yes, wonder what the event was. There's always something to commemorate.
A bit surreal, bit freaky, bit weird. But that's meshing social media and aeroplanes together, and that segues quite nicely into the aeroplanes.
Into aeroplanes, yeah. I had a fantastic weekend down in Tauranga. The Tauranga Airshow, which didn't get a lot of press down here, but yeah, it would have been worth the drive, because an airshow is a pretty rare thing here. Was absolutely brilliant. Mainly warbirds, by which we mean ex-military airplanes that are now operated by fat old men. It's kind of funny seeing a Spitfire or a Corsair or whatever land this fat old man with a pot belly and grey hair gets out, and instead of your dashing young fighter pilot. But no, we had a ball of a time. Flew our little plane in and parked it over with all the other unsexy planes, and got a ride over to where the sexy planes were. You
didn't get a chance to do any displays, aerobatics?
No, they must have lost my email where I offered my services. I offered my services when the Royal New Zealand Air Force Red Checkers pulled out because they had one of their planes had an engine failure sort of halfway and had to force land
That's right.
near Waihuru and ended upside down in the tussock. So there was only one of the Red Checkers made it. I think he got there in advance. There was some good helicopter flying from the Air Force, but very, very sort of hands off by the Air Force. They've got a show coming up in, I think it's very late March, down at Ohakea, which should be pretty cool, which is the big anniversary show for the Air Force. So we'll be heading down for that as well.
And a very cool video of, is it the Corsair?
Yeah, the Corsair. a big American naval fighter, which is actually one of the main airplanes operated by the Royal New Zealand Air Force.
I feel a little bit ill.
Pacific. Yeah, they've just used a thing called a GoPro camera, which I'll bring in some footage myself. I've fitted one to the wingtip of my plane as well, which is a fantastic thing. It's about a $400 HD digital camera, small enough to sellotape to the end of your plane and do crazy things. If you just search on YouTube for. You're just looking at a tubby man. Yeah, he's famous, so we won't mention his name. The GoPro camera. If you search on YouTube for GoPro, airplane.
You strap it to anything, so light and
amazing.
It doesn't
amazing
affect the aerodynamics of the.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does, but not to the extent you'd notice. These are the cameras that people have recently been, strapping to helium balloons and sending into space and stuff. Because they'll run for a couple of hours on one charge, and they're solid state. They're great cameras.
Great. That was the Tauranga Airshow.
It was good.
You can find this as a video once more up at tgf.co.nz. Continue the conversation with Vaughn and on Twitter, twitter.com/Vaughn Davis. Thanks very much, Vaughn.